Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We are dealing with either incompetent leaders in Europe or evil leaders in Europe. There's no other interpretation, I would say, or these are by far the main ones that we can use to assess, to analyze UK's prime ministers and UK's foreign ministers and Zelensky's statements regarding Russia and the ceasefire. So what happened? The United Kingdom threatens, warns Russia. And then Zelenskyy comes and says something that is obviously delusional. Now, let's set the premises, or at least, the definitions. I said delusion. What's a delusion? Delusion is something that obviously is occurring in this direction, but someone sees it clearly is going this direction. That is like you are on the deck of the Titanic, and the Titanic already hit the iceberg, and it's going down. You can clearly see. We all see it. We drop the boats, get in the boats. The Titanic is going down. And you have someone saying, no, it's not going down. Actually, it's going to fly to Mars. Now, that's delusion. Right? That's delusion. Obviously, according to the evidence at hand, empirical evidence, you can see it, you can hear it, you can touch it, the water, you know it's going down. So this is delusion. Now, when someone makes a statement and the statement seems to be delusional, you start thinking, is this person incompetent? He makes the statement because he's incompetent, he's just okay? Or he makes it because he has an ill intention. The intention is evil behind the statement. This is what I'm asking. I mean, I have the answer. The answer is these guys in Europe, are some of them incompetent and some of them are, their intentions are evil. Let me show you how United Kingdom, out of any other country, like we should give a shit, threatens, warns Putin and Russia that they must agree with a proposed ceasefire by another country who's involved in a war on the other side. Otherwise, they are the evil guys, and they have to accept it the way it was pushed forward. It's like you go, for instance, someone wants your car, wants to make a deal on your car, and you say, well, okay, let's discuss. Yeah, in principle, I am for selling my car. You like my car? You come to me? You want my car? Okay, I have some conditions. That is price and so on, after we sell it is as it is, or you're going to come next day and say, hey, I don't know, your car is something wrong with it, you get it back. There's some conditions, obviously. No, the buyer, the West, who's losing, has been losing in Ukraine, comes to the seller he doesn't want to sell it. They can go on with the war, they don't want to sell. So they're winning. So they come over here to beg them and then say, you gotta sell at under my conditions. Why would I? You approached me to buy my car. Off. All right, so let me show you these idiotic statements. I don't think that's idiotic in this case. I would say one is idiotic, the other ones are just, their intentions are evil. All right, let's start with the first one. This is from Ukrainska Pravda. Russia must agree to ceasefire with no conditions. Says who? Look at this guy. This guy, look at his tie. This guy, who's a very, he says, the United Kingdom Foreign Secretary says, March 15th, 2025. So Russia must, there's no way around, you must, not you don't, you have to, you must. I impose that. It's a difference between, must, should, ought, shall, will, may, no, you must. Says who? Who the fuck are you? All right, this is exactly what the Russians are thinking. I think they're laughing, they're drinking vodka or tea, and look at this baboon and say, what are you going to do about it? Bring it on, homie. All right, so basically this is what it is. First, these guys, the UK, introduce themselves in an equation they're not in, but they want to be in. So Russia must, or what, or else, this guy. So I think this is incompetence here. I mean, this is not ill will, because I don't think he understands. That's my, humble assessment. UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy, this is lame, has said that G7 allies are unanimously calling for an unconditional ceasefire to stop the fighting in Ukraine. So who can impose in a war conditions? Who can impose? Only the winning side. Is United Kingdom winning in Ukraine? No. United Kingdom is the enemy of Russia. Clear and simple. No partners, no competitors. You are one of the originators, out of the two, of what's going on in Ukraine. You. And the Russians know it. So for these guys to come in, it's like you beat someone and they said, stop right now or else. Oh, you want me to unzip my pants? Is that going to be else or what? Anyway, so this is idiotic. Idiotic is beyond the comedy. And people really believe, yes, man, they should. Why should the Russians agree to something that would work against their own interest? Because what else? What are they going to do about it? Nothing. All right, that's the first one, the first baboon. Let's go to another baboon, which is Starmer, again from Ukrainska Pravda. UK Prime Minister, so not only one baboon, we got a second baboon. And I'm quoting, we, who's we? Why not you? Why not I? We cannot allow Putin to, and I'm going to play games with the ceasefire in Ukraine. First, this baboon right here says we. Who's we, homie? You and your allies? Are you weak? No, we're strong, we're very strong. So why don't you go and take on Russia? Just one-on-one, one round. Oh, you think in the first 30 seconds you're going to be knocked the fuck out? Okay, so we, the courageous and the good people of the West, the right ones, the free world, we cannot. Cannot is an interdiction. It's not we can't. Can't shows an inability. Or we can't, we can't. Oh, yeah. Can't, we can. Cannot is like we should not legally allow that. We should not allow Putin to play games. Not you should not, you're first not in the equation, but let's pretend that the United Kingdom is in the equation. This is their frustration. Your winner of the Second World War, Mr. Churchill, bankrupted your empire, screwed your empire and bankrupted your country again. So that's why he won the elections after the Second World War. Okay? So let's start with that one. So since then, you lost your big power that you had before. So now you're a second or third graded power. That's it. And you don't like it because now you are exposed. By this you're exposed. Not even the Americans allow you to come at a negotiating table Why? You didn't earn it. Why should you be? Why should you be? So these guys are saying, okay, I want to hear Honduras's statement or opinion on Putin. I want to hear Bangladesh. I want to hear my friends from Zimbabwe saying, what do you think about what Putin's ceasefire? Why UK? Because they think they are important. They think they are the makers, the rule makers, the actors on this big planet. Let me break the news for them. They're not. And they are throwing a tantrum. That's impotence. Impotence, that's what it is. You have to know your limits. And they don't want to get rid of their illusion of their status. It's gone. Yes, you have a very, very extended and very well-organized regime change apparatus across the world or around the world with your MI6. It's true, you still have that, you still have your spies, you still have the money with the city of London, okay, in around the world, you still have that. But militarily, no. We cannot. You speak in the name of whom? You can speak only in your name. And your name is Starmer. All right? So again, delusional and evil. And we get again, look at this one. New Voice of Ukraine. Starmer warns. So this guy who's not even in the equation has no power over Russia, United States, or Ukraine. He's got some power. But he says, we warns Putin not to play games. Or else, or what? With Ukraine ceasefire. That what? You're not gonna play games. Let me tell you how things really are. And you know them. I don't have to, oh my God, let me give you a secret right now. These guys have been losing in Ukraine. You don't believe that? Look who's advancing and who's retreating. I mean, it's ABC. I'm sorry to have to start with really like talking to the baboons, That's exactly how it is. So you've been losing. That's why. Well, your company, some companies were winning a lot of money, and we were losing as the citizens or your subjects in the United Kingdom. That's true. But overall, the Russians were not losing for 3 years. They haven't been. On the contrary, and when I say they haven't been losing, they did not cease for peace, their economy did not collapse, Putin was not Gaddafi, and so on. So that's losing. So we cannot allow to play games. What he considers play games is like he thinks he can come and say, dictate. You have to take this ceasefire under no conditions. Unconditional surrender, like Japan. Do you think that Russia is Japan? Or Germany in the Second World War to come, not even in the First World War, in the Second World War, to come and say, oh, you gotta do it, it's an unconditional surrender. According to what? The delusion in your brain. You've been losing. You are losing. You are ignored by your boss, United States of America. Remember, Great Britain is the house servant on the Al Capone's plantation. He's not over there in the sugarcane, cutting the sugarcane or... No, he's in the house, but still is a house slave, a servant. But it's the same thing. It's a little bit more clean than the guys over there. That's it. But still in the cage of Al Capone. That's what it is. So, no, we must not play games. Play games meaning Russia has to accept the unconditional ceasefire conditions imposed by these guys. Accept it unconditionally. Why would Russia do this? Delusional. I don't think it's incompetence. They know. And let's see what Zelenskyy says. Zelenskyy says the same thing, which is, Zelenskyy, we've heard Putin's statements about conditions. He doesn't want a ceasefire. No, he doesn't want to sell his car on your terms. Why should he? You came to him with a ceasefire. And he said, yeah, I'm okay to sell my car, but there are some conditions. No, you got to sell it the way I want you to sell it. Fuck off. Go back over there in the trenches and get going. So again, he doesn't want a ceasefire. He said clearly that he wants. And then we have some traitors here that you should never trust these guys. And this is evidence that the Institute for the Study of War is not an institute for the study of war. It's an institute for propaganda of war. And I will tell you who these guys are. Putin seeks to prolong war. Unlikely to agree to any means a zero. To any ceasefire. Unlikely. I like this kind of things. Based on what? What's the percentage? How did you figure it out? You're an institute for the study, so you're a scientific institute, right? So you have to tell me about 37% it's unlikely. Why? How do you get to 37%? I mean, it's a study. If you need a study, it's a scientific paper, a document. It's a research paper. You research it. That's why you're an institute for study. You're studying it. You're not saying, and now the bush is on fire, and Moses spread the Red Sea, he divided it. We're not there anymore, some of us. Some of them are still there, okay? Yeah, it happened. All right? So when Institute for the Study of War says Putin seeks to prolong war, he didn't want a war in the first place. But you guys did not want to negotiate with him into 2021. Your military was on his porch. So, sorry. So, who's the Institute for the Study of War? Again, this is not an Institute for the Study of War, a Washington, D.C. think tank. This is the propaganda machine of Victoria Nuland and her club. I want to say tribe, but you know what I mean. So, Kimberly Kagan is the director of the Institute for the Study of War. Kimberly Kagan, she's Jewish, is married with Mr. Kagan, a Jew. Mr. Kagan is brother to another Kagan, and Mr. Kagan is husband of Victoria Nuland. So Victoria Nuland and Kimberly Kagan, who is the president of the Institute for the Study of War, they are sister-in-law by the two. And all four of them belong to the same club. They are all Romanians, right? So even if you set it aside, based on the evidence that we all can see, no, Putin seeks to prolong war. No, Putin says, okay, give me half of Europe and there's no war. It's peace. And the guys go, oh no, we can't do this. Well, you don't want peace, you see. As Napoleon said, I'm a man of peace under my conditions. So I'm all for peace, man. But it's like someone says, man, I don't want to beat you up, but you got to give me your house. And you say, no, I'm not going to give it. See, I have to beat him up because he doesn't like peace. So I have to beat him up. He doesn't give me his house. But it's my house. If you would just give it to me, there will be no war. But you don't wanna, that means it's war. The same as this. No, Putin doesn't want peace. Putin didn't want a war in the first place. Who came to NATO to discuss, hold on, you're too close? Was it Putin or was the Great West? The Great West said, beat you, we got you cornered. What are you going to do, homie? You're going to attack us? And Putin says, duh. So, thank you very much for being with me again today. United Kingdom warns Putin that Putin must do what they say. Why? This is really kindergarten level. And these are your elected and appointed officials. I mean, Starmer, if you look at him, and lame, it's clear. And Zelenskyy Z-stein again. These people don't want war, not that guy over there. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.